When does Game of Thrones Season 8 air? HBO has confirmed that Game of Thrones Season 8 will be returning in 2019, however a specific air date hasn't yet been given. The Game of Thrones news was confirmed by the US broadcaster earlier this month in a press release which read, "The epic fantasy series Game of Thrones will return for its 6th-episode, 8th and final season in 2019. David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, David Nutter and Miguel Sapochnik will be the directors for the new season. Writers for the new season are David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, Brian Cogman, and Dave Hill. The executive producers of the series are David Benioff, D.B. Weiss, Caroline Strauss, Frank Dielga, and Bernadette Colefield. Co-executive producers are Brian Cogman, Gaiman Casadi, Vince Giraudis and George R.R. Martin. How many episodes in Game of Thrones Seasons 7 and 8? Previous seasons of the Game of Thrones have generally aired in the spring with 5 runs premiering in April. Season 3 made an earlier debut in March, while Season 7 premiered later than all the previous ones in July 2017. It's uncertain when Game of Thrones Season 8 will be premiering, but it could be April, judging by the premiere dates from the earlier runs. The show is currently in production across various locations including Belfast, Northern Ireland, which serves as the show's home. Game of Thrones spin-offs release date. How many episodes are in Game of Thrones Season 8? There are going to be a total of 6 episodes in Game of Thrones Season 8, making it the shortest run in the history of the show. Despite Season 7 having less episodes, each installment could potentially be much longer, with some of them have feature-length running times. Speaking about the episode length, the head of programming at HBO, Casey Bloys, told The Hollywood Reporter, "It really will be dependent on when their showrunners get the cuts and what they're happy with. Everything on Game of Thrones is driven by their desire to make the best show possible. When we're going to air, how long the episodes are, we're taking their lead on what they need." He added, "It's going to air 6 in a row. Episode length, I have no idea yet what it's going to be. Seasons 1 to 6 consisted of hour-long episodes. However, last year the program broke with convention and only had 7 installments of varying running times." Game of Thrones Season 8 directors. What will happen in Game of Thrones Season 8? Season 8 is the final run of Game of Thrones and is set to wrap up the entire saga that is A Song of Ice and Fire. Bloys revealed that he's read the scripts for all the episode in the season, teasing, "They're great. It's fantastic. The fans are going to be very, very happy." Season 7 ended on a cliffhanger as the Night King, played by Vladimir Furdik, breached the wall with the help of his white dragon Viserion. The following season is going to deal with the White Walkers' invasion into Westeros and the fight between ice and fire. Also, Sam Darnley, John Bradley, and Bran Stark. Isaac Hempstead Wright discovered that Robert's rebellion was based on a lion that Rhaegar Targaryen, Wilf Scolding, and Lyanna Stark, Aisling Franciosi, had legitimately married in secret. Will the Game of Thrones Season 8 release date be brought forward? Their union meant that Jon Snow, Kit Harington, had a claim to the Iron Throne and the line of succession changed. The secret marriage is set to come out in Season 8 and would also confirm that Jon and Daenerys Targaryen, Emilia Clarke, are in fact nephew and aunt. As fans remember, the Season 7 finale saw the King in the North and the Mother of Dragons sleeping together, which is set to have consequences not only on them but on Westeros. Meanwhile, Cersei Lannister, Lena Headey, was plotting against Jon and Daenerys in her delusional bid to cling to power, much to the chagrin of her twin brother and lover Jaime, Nikolai Coster-Waldau. It looks like the Mad Queen of Westeros will be betraying her allies in Season 8, however it could backfire pretty badly if the Night King and his army of the dead reach Westeros first. Season 8 will be a mixture of action with a war against the White Walkers, but also looks likely to have plenty character-led drama. How will Game of Thrones Season 8 end? Game of Thrones author George R.R. Martin has previously spoken how he plans to wrap his book series, saying that it would have a similar bittersweet finale like that of J.R.R. Tolkien's fantasy epic The Lord of the Rings. Martin told the Medill School of Journalism, "We all yearn for happy endings in a sense. Myself, I'm attracted to the bittersweet ending. People ask me how Game of Thrones is gonna end, and I'm not gonna tell them, but I always say to expect something bittersweet in the end, like J.R.R. Tolkien. I think Tolkien did this brilliantly. I didn't understand that when I was a kid, when I read Return of the King." Going by Martin's words, it seems likely that there will some deaths of beloved characters while others may actually get a happy ending after suffering a tragedy and enduring some horrific ordeals along the way. Who will be in Game of Thrones Season 8? Game of Thrones will see the return of the ensemble cast including Kit Harington as Jon Snow, Emilia Clarke as Daenerys Targaryen, Lena Headey as Cersei Lannister, Peter Dinklage as Tyrion Lannister. Sophie Turner will reprise the part of Sansa Stark, Maisie Williams as Arya Stark, Isaac Hempstead Wright as Bran Stark, Gwendolyn Christie as Brienne of Darth, Nikolai Coster-Waldau as Jaime Lannister, Liam Cunningham as Ser Davos Seaworth. Joe Dempsey will once more portray Gendry, Rory McCann as Sandor the Hound Clegane, Jacob Anderson as Grey Worm, Natalie Emmanuel as Missandei, Jerome Flynn as Bronn, John Bradley as Sam Tarly and Ian Glenn as Jorah Mormont. Vladimir Furdik will be back as the terrifying Night King and Hofthor Julius Björnsson as Gregor the Mountain Clegane. There's been recent speculation that Karis van Houten could be coming back as the Red Priestess Melisandre after the star posted a now deleted video of herself in Northern Ireland. It seems likely that the Crown actor Anton Lesser will be returning as Maester Qyburn as he helps Cersei destroy her enemies. Is there a trailer for Game of Thrones Season 8? No yet, but we'll be updating this page with all the latest news and teasers when they drop. Game of Thrones Season 8 will return to Sky Atlantic in 2000.